find me a real challenge.
Who the hell is that?
Do we get a refund if we kill this guy within an hour?
You good? Kid, I'm better than good. I'm bacon and eggs on Sunday morning.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Screenstars. I'm here today to bring you my review of the 2021 action science fiction film Apex, a film that is co-written and directed by Edward Drake, and it stars Bruce Willis and Neil McDonough. Right. This film essentially is a cross between The Running Man and Hard Target. It treads over very familiar ground and focuses on Bruce Willis's character, who is a convicted criminal, some kind of super killer they make him out to be. And there is an island, and very much like The Running Man, criminals are put on this island, and they are essentially hunted down for sport by a series of hunters, and that is the film. Bruce Willis is this criminal. He is dropped off of this island, promised his freedom if he manages to kill these hunters or survive for a certain amount of time. And that's your film. Right, what are my thoughts on Apex? Oh, this film was a chore, guys. A real struggle to get through. I keep praying every time there's one of these new Bruce Willis films come out. I keep praying that there's going to be some redeeming feature in it, or some level of quality, or something to enjoy, even if it's tongue-in-cheek fun. I'm sorry, but this is definitely not one of them. This film is appalling, and it is everything you hate, everything you hoped it wasn't going to be if you saw the trailer. But I can promise you it's everything you feared it was. Let's see if I can go through. I'll go through some of the positives here. Very few of the positives here. Neil McDonough, who plays the main bad guy here, the main antagonist, he's fine. He's got a role to play. He's the lead bad guy, and he plays it. He plays this cool, cold, ice killer hunter. He does it fine. He's absolutely fine. You feel he is a threat, and he essentially headlines this film, and I'll explain why he headlines this film in a minute. But yeah, he's fine in it. The concept is solid. These sort of films always generally work if they're careful, or they certainly take a little bit of care with the film. And there are some effects here that are decent as well, because it is a sci-fi film, even though, and again I'll come on to it a little bit more, the sci-fi setting is completely unnecessary. I don't know why it's there. I don't need it at all. Those are pretty much the positives. The negatives are far and wide. As I've said, the sci-fi setting, I genuinely don't know why it's there. Doesn't need to be there. It's wasted money. They could have spent it elsewhere. Certainly recasting Bruce Willis would have been a good start. When they're introducing Bruce Willis, this is another positive, I suppose. It kind of made me raise an eyebrow. When they're introducing Bruce Willis to the rest of the hunters, saying, right, this is who you're going to hunt, essentially, they explain now what a badass he is, and in one of the sentences in regards to how they explain him, they say he's the sole survivor of a train crash. Obviously referencing Unbreakable. Very, very clever. Right, okay, where do we go from this? Negatives. Right. The hunters are useless. Beyond useless. They're not skilled in any way apart from Neil McDonough's character. The rest of them are just weekend warrior type hunters. And then we get this line earlier on in the film from this holographic projection that essentially runs Apex, this facility, that explains to Bruce Willis that they've never lost a hunter. Because Bruce Willis asks the question, what if I kill everybody? And this thing comes back and says, oh, we've never lost a hunter. And you're thinking, oh, well, these must be really skilled killers then. Nope, not a bit of it. They're absolutely useless beyond belief. Again, as we've seen in the few recent Bruce Willis films, the shots from the back, apart from one that I can recall, are clearly not him. It's just some other guy walking around. In fact, there's many shots of Bruce Willis. There's even a sequence in the film where he goes full on Rambo and he goes on a killing spree. And you don't see it. You just see a pair of legs walking around the woods, picking up a gun and a red jacket from the back now and again. You never see Bruce Willis do it. So what you've been waiting for the whole film for, Bruce Willis going badass, you don't see. Very little of it anyway. You get lots of shots of Bruce Willis leaning in against trees and swearing, out of breath sort of thing. And how he expects to stay well hidden in the woods with a bright red jacket against so-called skilled hunters is beyond me, but he's wearing a bright red jacket, guys. There's scenes as well of Bruce Willis walking around. He's got like bruises on his face, but there's no sequence of events that shows how he gets these bruises unless he's walking into branches. Again, makes no sense at all. And it's almost like as though Bruce Willis kind of sat there and said, I'm not doing much on this set. So you get a lot of shots of him sat, leaning on trees, or back shots of him, which is why the film focuses heavily on the hunters, which is why Bruce Willis gets second billing, essentially. Is the film focuses a lot on these hunters who start turning on themselves, which again just makes no sense. The film is awful, guys. It's garbage, and it made me really, really cross watching it. Why, oh why? And again, I'll keep repeating myself. Why, oh why do they keep casting Bruce Willis? Save your budget. Hire a decent up-and-coming action star, give him a chance, and then you can make the film you want to make, basically, and not just half a film, which is what this is, really. It's not fun, it's not entertaining, and it's a joyless mess, basically. So I'm going to give this one a 3 out of 10. I really, really disliked it immensely. And unfortunately, guys, it's another stinker for Brucey boy. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you found this review useful. And I will be back with more reviews and content on the channel very, very soon.